Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of our Community Access. Yes, it's been 2 months since we're not on the air with new information about Oxford and Addison Township, but we're back. Oxford Community Television is starting to bring some of our crew back to bring more information about our area. So for the best of new information to you this week, our Community Access will show you Amy Dostell, the Executive Director of the Oxford Chamber, what the Chamber is doing for the businesses. Then we went to the American Legion Post 108 in Oxford, how his fundraising has been affected the Post 108. Then free meals with Connie Miller. Then fish, how COVID affects fish. Finally, Noda COVID assistance at new building. All today at our Community Access. Welcome back. This is a busy week this week. Let's start with Amy Dostell, the Executive Director of the Chamber.
Well, as you know, MDOT is coming through our town, and as of the end of the month, they're going to be closing North 24. So all the businesses are, it's going to be harder, but you're going to have to use Glassby to get around town, and then you're going to have to use Pontiac and use the side streets, which will all be open, and that's why they did the preliminary back in the fall, so that all the side streets would be open and you can get to the businesses. Everything, all the flower pots, everything are going to be moved to the back of the businesses, so there's parking, ample parking behind everyone. I have mentioned to the businesses in our relaunch that it would be a good idea for them to even mention to their customers, hey, today the best way to get to us is. And it's going to take a little more planning by the businesses, but I think in the long run, people aren't going to get frustrated and not show up. So if you just give them a mention of how to get to your business and keep abreast on Restore M24, it'll help you in the long run. They will be down in town. Joe Medora said they'll be down in town around the end of June, and they're tearing up all the way down to the infrastructure. We haven't had it done in over 100 years. So you won't be able to travel north through town for quite a few months. They'll continue to have southbound lanes, or at least one lane open. But you will be able to access, like I said, the side streets to get to all our businesses. But it is a total redo. They're going to redo the sidewalks. So the town will be beautiful, endpoint, but it's just getting to that end game. But we're here to help and promote. They're also trying to figure out how much food and how much inventory to carry at this time, because they don't know how much shopping is going to happen. There's a lot of different things that they have to deal with right now, and I think our town, especially Oxford, is a great town for shopping small and working with our small business owners. Even our beauty shops, Charm and Company, have done curbside different things. You can pick up hair color. I know, and I think they're doing tutorials too if you want to buy the hair color and do it at home. So really, our businesses have been quite ingenious on how they're working things out.
Be a part of that.
Oh, absolutely. You can go online, and all of our membership levels are online, and you can pay online even now, or you can call the office at 248-628-0410, and I can help you over the phone until I can open my door again. And we have a couple new members. I will post you on Facebook and in the newsletter, and once we can get out in the community, we'll do a ribbon cutting again. I have been working from home since day one, and I've worked all the way through, and I continue to try to be a liaison to help them with the COVID-19, all the changes, keeping them updated between the governor, the state, the health officials, everything. And we actually have Mark Sacken, June 10th, talking about the different legal aspects of reopening. We had a relaunch forum for a Zoom meeting to kind of have them start thinking about using their website, making sure that's updated. I've continued with the newsletter, e-blast. I've been working with all the different businesses to get the word out on what they do offer. So we've been here, we've been working with everybody. It's just a different way of, it makes me a little sad my door's not open anymore. I'm hoping to get back out and be able to see people. So Glenn and I talked last week actually about the toolkits for reopening. He has those.
Okay.
And village businesses can all come and get them. It's a great Tupperware that has, even a thermometer in it. So please go pick those up. They're at the village. We talked about the different common areas and how we could maybe help these businesses do things out in these areas as another avenue, because they can't do it inside, and that they can do things outside and it'll draw more attention. People that are walking through town can join in. Yes, they might have to go online and pay for if it's a cooking class or something, but it's just a great way to promote your business. Another thing that I've been kind of helping with is a lot of the businesses in the township want extra signage. The businesses in the village want extra signage when MDOT is here. So you have to go to the village. They have a plan where you go online, you pull a permit. They're doing it with no charge right now. There's a certain size that they have on there. I think it's 30 square, like a banner size that you can have. There's certain requirements of how they want it done. And you apply for it, they grant it to you, and then you can have it out until November. The township right now, I'm trying to work with them to come up with a plan similar to the villages so that they can have signage, additional signage. Tim Hortons, he would like signage down to his business off of Ray Road, so that people remember once you take Glassby to Ray Road, you can take the apron through Meyer to get to Tim Hortons without ever going out onto 24. So there are ways to definitely access these businesses. You just have to kind of think out of the box. I would say if you've made an appointment for 10 o'clock, you should plan on trying to get there by 9:30, because seriously, I don't know. Every day is going to be different. It's going to be... Hello. Every day is going to be different. So really, M24 Restore has things on their website you can check. We're posting things daily on Facebook, the villages, but I would kind of keep abreast of what is going on at that day or for that appointment, but plan on leaving plenty early and access the back streets. Use the Glassby, use Pontiac Street, and your Garmin, not your Garmin, people don't use those anymore, but your GPS should get you around to where you need to go.
And will this affect like the school routes at all? Like getting to maybe the high school or elementary schools, even the middle school?
Yes, but the schools are all closed, so, and I don't know that they're going to reopen.
True.
I know, and
That might be good though.
right, and that's what I'm kind of thinking is that if you want to say it's good, yes, that's a good point. Yeah, we won't have the stress of all the school traffic on top of the road construction and people, and you can see traffic is a lot lighter. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are going to continue to work from home. So, and that gives them more hours to be able to come out and shop local too.
Absolutely.
And a lot of our businesses, just so I can tell you, you can go online, go on their website, check out, and they're willing to do. My daughter bought a weekender from Vicky from my mom. And Vicky opened the door, let my daughter have it at noon. She didn't open till 3. I know, she didn't even know it was my daughter. So, I mean, everybody is willing to work with you. The chamber is here to help, and we definitely have a good working relationship with the village and the township and the DDA, and we want to do what is good for our town. Everybody is struggling right now. I will work with them and try to get their message out. We keep trying to we have our coffee connects, we have our different forums that we're doing to help them to get ready or to just continue to get through this. And our newsletter has a lot of important information in there. But if you have any questions, call me. I'll be glad to work with you. 248-628-0410. The first Tuesday of the month we have our Coffee Connects, and then each month we're trying to have different Zoom meetings to talk about maybe different aspects of what could help. RSVP to me, and then Jeff Rowe, our president of our chamber, sends out the Zoom invite. And yes, you have to have a Zoom invite, but we've had great response, and we still have pretty much over 20 people at each Coffee Connect. So yeah, and right now people need that connection just to see other people. Everybody needs to use patience and try to find your inner peace when you go out, and be patient. Everybody's trying to do their best, and it is so hard right now because they just don't know what's coming their way next. So take a breath and give them a minute to try to help you too. Especially if you can't get through on the phone lines.
Next up, reporter Alexis Ware went to the American Legion Oxford. Alexa?
The American Legion Post 108 isn't foreign to challenges after the pandemic shut down everything, but one thing that hasn't been a challenge is the camaraderie.
Although we're taking a huge hit to our funding, and all of the money that we drive in on our poppy drives and our fish fries, etc., all of that money goes to one place only. It goes to help veterans and their families.
Fred Sensulo, Senior Vice Commander of the American Legion Post 108, admits the pandemic has made it difficult to maintain, but not entirely impossible. He says while events and gatherings are canceled for now, they plan to postpone them.
We'll reschedule our poppy drive for later on in the year, and we'll start to refill our coffers with money, and those funds are used again for veterans and their families, high school students, academic scholarships, support of Scout Pack and the Boy Scouts, and needy families all throughout Oxford.
Sensulo says former American Legion Post 108 Commander Rick Moorhead also spoke out about having to shut down due to the pandemic.
What he said really hit home. He said, yeah, to all of the things, to all the problems that we're dealing with, but he also mentioned this. He said, please remember that this post is a home away from home for all of our members. Okay? The lost time away from fellow veterans, lost conversations that only veterans understand, and reminiscing about veterans that only veterans can understand. And the camaraderie that you can see immediately when you walk into this building, you can feel it.
And Sensulo says he's proud to be a part of it and everything they've accomplished.
Our post has been very visible in the community. We lead all of the parades. You know, we do all of the honor guard, funeral services. We help wounded warriors. We've sponsored 3 bills, including the E-988 bill for Veterans Suicide Hotline. And those 3 bills were made it through Congress and are on the President's desk for signing, right from this post. We also mentor school kids. We have picnics. We have an Easter and Christmas party. And this is all for the children in the community. And there's countless unnoticed things that we do for veterans on a day-to-day basis that are just too numerous to talk about.
He also says they'll soon need help from Post 9/11.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to post 9/11 veterans, and Bill would be mad at me if I didn't talk about recruitment. We need you, assist to the 9/11 veterans. We need you. We need you to carry the flags. We need you to help fellow veterans. We need you to provide honor guards. We need you to work with local and county governments to guarantee our vets get good health care and their benefits that they so deserve. It's time to step up. Come down to our post when we reopen and take your seat at the table. Post 9/11 vets are welcome, and they're the future of Walter Frazier Post 108. To me personally, I look at those gravestones and I see the date of birth and I see the date of death. And for the most part, they're all young men in the prime of their life, and they're the heroes.
Post 108 Vice Commander Fred Sensulo reflects on Memorial Day and what it means to celebrate.
As we know, Memorial Day marks the beginning of summer. It's the first 3-day weekend, if you will. And it's kind of our job as Legion members and responsibility to remind folks of the true meaning of Memorial Day. And we want to thank all our veterans, but Memorial Day is not about us. It's not about the survivors. It's not about those that are still serving. Okay? It's all about those who gave their life defending our country and our way of life.
He says to commemorate them, they uphold a tradition every year.
We'll be putting flags in the graves of every one of our fallen veterans. And that gives us time to reflect on their sacrifice.
And it was the ultimate sacrifice.
After the Civil War till present day, the United States has suffered 624,000 casualties. And of those, 40,000 are still missing in action. And that's what this table represents over here. And of the 40,000, 30,000 are still missing from World War II. Another 1,600 are still missing from the Vietnam War. So on Memorial Day, let's honor the memory of our fallen heroes. Let's renew our pledge of loyalty to our country, to our freedom, and to this flag. And let's pass it on to future generations.
Tough times, everybody right now. Next up, Connie Miller with Free Meals.
So Connie, tell us what we're doing here today. We are at Free Meals. We are here every Wednesday. Sometimes I cook, sometimes someone else cooks. Tonight we prepared 100 meals to go out. Plus, because of the school's generosity, we have bags of non-perishable groceries, we have refrigerated groceries, and we have frozen groceries, and we have milk. And we're just here for the people. The numbers have gone up every week, unfortunately. But we're going to stay here and we're going to keep doing it every Wednesday as long as people need us.
So where are all these volunteers coming from?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know. Who are you? They're all everybody's friends of mine. I just say, hey, I need help, and everybody shows up. Like you, like Steven, like Chris, like Deb, like Michelle, like Patty, like Ginger. It's a party. We have a good time. It's our 1 or 2 hours out of the week where we get to have fun and do something good. The people are very grateful, and they've been very generous and kind and gracious. And
So what brings you back each week?
the people. Well, we had a lady here one night. She was crying.
Yeah.
She said she's never been in trouble like this. I said, in a few weeks it'll turn around, and then you can go back and volunteer with us. And she said, can I? I said, of course you can, because everything turns around. So when you have a chance to give, you give. Post office lady dropped by and made a donation. Some friends of mine who could truly ill afford it made a very sizable cash donation. And the church has given us gift cards, so it's keeping us going. And we want to be able to serve at least a fresh meal, fresh food, real meat, real chicken, real vegetables. You know, keep our tradition going, because I've been doing this for about 10 years now. And if they don't need us now, I don't know when they need us. So that's why we're here.
Keep doing what you're doing in this very special town.
Well, thank you. I can't do it without you guys, so I can't take the credit alone.
Free meals.
That's right, Free Meals rocks.
Got to do a good deed once a week at least. That's all.
So what are you doing right now?
Delivering food to seniors.
Why is that your philosophy? Do one good deed a week?
Why not? Why not?
Again, Alexa went to the fish to see how could fish affects fish.
The pandemic may still be in full swing, but Oxford Orion Fish wants residents to know that they're still open for business.
This pantry runs 100% on donations, and we are overwhelmed by the generosity of this community.
Because of the community's generosity, Oxford Orion Fish is in well supply. She says people who are usually clients are now donating to the pantry.
I wouldn't feel right asking for anything right now. We don't know what's going to happen. You know, maybe 6 months from now, I'm going to be, oh my gosh, Alexis, I need help. But I don't believe that we should be asking for anything if there isn't truly a need. And I think that's something that the donors like because they know that we take care of the clients and we are very appropriate with everything.
Big changes are coming next month.
We are going to be switching in June. We're going to go to just 1 day a week, that just because of with volunteers, we don't want burnout, and we just want to make sure that we can, properly utilize everybody's time and efficiency. And it's going to be fine because we're going to start doing the deliveries, as far as people driving up at 10 o'clock. And we've already decided with all the volunteers, we're like, we'll be here till it's done.
She says although the pantry will be operating for only 1 day a week, everyone will still receive everything they need.
Everybody has to call ahead so we know when everybody's coming, but we'll be fine because I know that we're going to stay here until everybody's taken care of. So it's not going to be an issue at all.
To become a client during the pandemic, all people need to do is call, give a little bit of information, and be a resident of Oxford, Orion, Addison, or Leonard. She says the food supply is assorted by how many people are in the home, but it wasn't always this easy to stay open.
There was an issue in the beginning just even trying to get food. You know yourself, like you'd go to Meijer and the shelves were empty. So it was those first couple of weeks, I think everybody was overwhelmed, and we really struggled with that. But now that's not an issue.
Fish says residents don't even have to come in to pick up groceries. They say you can pull right up and they'll put it in your car. Reporting in Oxford, Alexis Ware, Oxford Community Television.
Next up, again, Alexa went to the new office of Noda. Here is Alexa.
North Oakland Transportation Authority says they haven't missed a beat since the pandemic hit, and they don't plan on it.
Noda is essential service, so we've remained in business the entire time, and we never had a time that we actually reduced our hours, but we have had to reduce our schedule because of the demand. So we analyze our rides daily, and based on demand, we adjust the number of vehicles that we're going to need each day. So we've seen a decrease of like 80% in the month of April, but we're still taking people to dialysis. That's a life-saving, important procedure that they need to do. Also essential workers, grocery shopping, and we've kind of expanded our service to help people in the community. So generally you have to be a registered rider to use our service, but during this pandemic we are kind of foregoing the registered rider. You normally have to be a senior, disabled, or low income, but we're saying that if you need help like delivering groceries or prescriptions, we will do that for free. And we've actually stopped all fees. We stopped charging during this just to reduce the contact between drivers and the passengers. So we do door to door. So we help people even before this pandemic with groceries, taking them to their door. We're not just transportation at the curb. We actually will go assist people from their door and even going into their doctor's offices and taking delivery of their groceries actually to their door. So it's much more than a transportation. It's kind of like helping your neighbors, and that's how we look at it. Prior to the pandemic, we would take riders to Fish. They would pick out their own food and we would take them back. But Fish stopped having people come into their building for sanitation reasons. So Noda is just, I went to Michelle and I said, we should just, Noda can do all your deliveries. So we can just pick up the food and deliver to people's doorsteps and not have any contact. It limits everything, and then it limits the number of people that have to come into Fish. So it's been working out really well. We have offered through Kroger, through Meijer, if people will purchase their groceries, online, we will do the pickup from there and deliver for free. So we haven't had as many people requested as what I thought, but it's out there and it's available to people if they don't feel comfortable going to pick up their groceries themselves, or if they're feeling, have symptoms and shouldn't be leaving the house. If the passengers have any kind of symptoms, they're not allowed to use it. We aren't medical transportation. And also for the drivers, we get our temperature checks every day, and checking to make sure that they're symptom-free is also important. And we've actually had fogging machines like to disinfect, and I've also written some grants for some driver shields, and also to have our own fogging machine. We've been borrowing it from the police department, which has been great. And we're also just doing one rider at a time, just to reduce exposure. So sometimes we'll have a number of people on board, but during this time we're just having one person just to keep it as sanitary as possible. We have like 30 part-time drivers, and most of them are retirees, and we have an amazing staff. I am so proud of our staff. They just have stepped right up and have been willing to be on the front lines. To me, they are heroes in my book, for sure, and I'm just really proud of them.
Gustafson says each bus has only had one rider since the beginning of March, and she plans to keep it that way for the remainder of the pandemic. Reporting in Oxford, Alexis Ware, Oxford Community Television.
Next up again, Alexis went to the offices of Noda. Here's Alexis.
North Oakland Transportation Authority began the process for their new building last March, but couldn't actually move in until a few months ago. And now Gustafson says she couldn't be happier.
We're just grateful. We're grateful to have our own home. Grateful that to be in Oxford again, and we're looking forward to staying for a long time. We have our dispatch office. We have our 3 dispatchers, the operations manager's office, and then my office. And then just our driver's room here. We moved in at the end of January of 2020. So we bought the building last March, but it took almost a year to renovate it. And so we finally got to move in January. We're very excited. It was existing building. There was a manufacturing building in here, and the reason is it was a great location because the 3 communities that we operate in are Orion, Oxford, and Addison, and so it's real central to all 3 of those communities, and it's got great space. We have the 20,000 square foot building in total, and half of the back half we're actually leasing out to a tenant. So we're actually receiving rental income to help offset the cost of living here currently. So we have 10,000 square feet, and the rental unit in the back has 10,000. So if we need to grow into having it eventually at some point, we have that option, which is great.
Lynn says that grant writing has contributed to the funding, allowing North Oakland Transportation Authority to find a home right here in Oxford, debt-free.
We've never had a place or a space to be able to park our vehicles inside, and so that's wonderful, especially in the winter, and you have diesel engines and whatever. It's wonderful to have it. We were originally renting space from Lake Orion Schools, and with their bond issue, the building that we were renting from was going to be demolished, and so we needed to find a new home. So that's what pushed us to find our own home. And since 2001, when Noda began, this is our 6th move. And it's the first time that we've actually owned a building. So we're finally in our own space, and we're really excited about it.
Well, there you go. We'll be back again, more information about our area next time on our Community Access. So for our reporter, Alexis Ware, and photographer, Stephen Rohr, and for our editor, Sarah Stiles, I'm Bill Service. Be safe, and we'll see you again on our Community Access.